Hello once again and welcome back to my office. I'd like to dedicate today's message, today's Dvar Torah, Lilu Nishmas, Avrohom and David, Mr. Abe Strix, a very dear friend and a close friend of the school for many, many decades. We have in this week's Parashas Vayigash the emotional reunion between Yosef and Yaakov. The Pasuk tells us, Vayer lo v'yipol al tzavarav. When that moment took place, when Yosef saw his father for the first time in 22 years, the Pasuk says that Yosef appeared to his father, Vayer elov. Rashi adds words that seem to be very superfluous. Vayer elov, Yosef nira eloviv. It says Yosef appeared to his father. Well, of course Yosef appeared to his father. Who else was the Pasuk talking about? Rabbi Shlovis explains that what was happening here was Yosef was doing something very special to take advantage of a unique opportunity. Yosef realized that if he wasn't going to take some special thought into this particular event, it would be reduced to a typical reunion between a father and a son, who for the first time after 22 years was reuniting with his father. It would be all about him seeing his father for the very first time in such a long time. He thought to himself that it has to be more than that. Yosef near Allah, Rashi is telling us that Yosef said, I can transform this act into something much more elevated, much more spiritual, by making this not about me, but about my father seeing me for the first time in 22 years. What Rabbi Shlovis is illuminating from Rashi is that when we have opportunities like an event of an emotional powerhouse event like Yosef seeing his father for the first time in such a long time, when even events not as dramatic come along, we have the ability to transform them into major spiritual impacts upon our neshama, by making it pure, by making it not about us, but about somebody else, either about another individual, about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, about spiritualizing the moment into something very sublime and very holy. Very often we have opportunities where if we can just take a slight thought about what we're doing, and realize if we can just simply take the event, and it's the exact same event. It wasn't a different hug. It wasn't a different physical connection between Yosef and Yaakov. It was simply a different motivation. It was not about me seeing my father for the first time in 22 years, but my father seeing me for the first time in 22 years. He appeared to his father to say, Tati, Abba, look at me. Shep the nachas of seeing that I've been able to stay strong, that I've been able to go to Mitzrayim and remain true to my heritage. That particular slight movement of his mind took a mundane event and made it very, very holy. It's something that we can do on a regular basis. So many times we have situations that come up. All we need to do is take a slight thought about how can I purify this event? How can I make it special? How can I make it holy? And sometimes it only takes a very small movement of our emotional situation to make a simple act into something very, very special. Have a wonderful Shabbos.